Kristin Gordon, voiceover. Welcome to KCCU's Arts and Entertainment News. Are you ready for a tale of three stories? Conductor Candler Schaefer and the Wichita Falls Symphony Orchestra presents Symphonies of the Fantastic. Along with the music, there will be narrations by Poet Laureate of Texas, James Hoggard, and Dr. Lynn Hoggard. The first fantasy adventure is the story of Babar the Elephant, with the music of Poulenc. According to legend, Francis Poulenc was noodling at his piano one day in 1940 when the young daughter of one of his cousins happened by. She disapproved of his choice of music and impulsively placed the book she was reading on his music stand. "Play this instead," she insisted. The book was Jean de Brunhoff's classic French children's tale, The Story of Babar, the Little Elephant. Poulenc began to improvise a musical dramatization of the story as he read it aloud to her. So was born this delightful little work, which premiered in 1945 in its original version for narrator and piano. The piano part has since been orchestrated for various ensembles at least twice. The second story is Prokofiev's Peter and the Wolf. In 1936, Prokofiev took his two sons to the Moscow Children's Music Theater. Perhaps they were a bit fidgety, because he decided to write a light-hearted piece that would introduce children to the instruments and sounds of the orchestra. Peter and the Wolf, a story written by Prokofiev himself, was the result, and it has proved to be a genuine favorite of kids and adults since. Each character in the story, told by a narrator over instrumental and orchestral illustration, is represented by a tune and instrument. Peter is a young boy, his signature tune being a cheerfully whistling theme in the strings. He has an adventure in a meadow, territory forbidden by his grandfather, a grumpy bassoon. There is also a cat, a clarinet, stalking in the grass, a duck, which is a quacking oboe, a bird to the tune of an agile flute, and some hunters. Let's hear the drums. And of course a wolf, baring its teeth to menacing horns. Peter ends up catching the wolf with the help of his animal friends, and a triumphant procession ends with grandfather still complaining. The final piece is Berlioz's Symphony Fantastic. This storybook will remain closed because I have always been told never to give away the ending. The concert date is set. Do you know Annie? That little orphan girl who has stolen the hearts of thousands. Little Orphan Annie was born August 5th of 1924 as a new cartoon strip by Harold Gray. It depicted the life and hard times of a little red-headed orphan girl with curiously blank eyes. During Annie's adventures in the comics, she meets Oliver Warbucks, who later becomes Daddy Warbucks, and a dog named Sandy, which she rescues from bullies. Annie is living with kindly Mrs. Pewter, who decides that Annie needs a new dress. The dress she makes for Annie is red with a white collar and cuffs. Voila, a trademark is born. The comic strip has become one of the most popular and long-lasting in history, spawning a decade-long radio show, movies, and an onstage musical called Annie. The Ardmore Little Theater has adopted the show and has taken it under their curtain to rise for a performance beginning July 29th. Cast as the leading role of Annie is Katie Parrish, who took time out from her busy schedule of rehearsals to talk about the performance. My first question to Katie is, who exactly is Annie?
It's about a little orphan, Annie, and she's at an orphanage with a mean old lady with some other kids, and Annie gets to go spend 2 weeks at Oliver Warbucks' house, the richest man in the world, and then he wants to adopt her. Oliver Warbucks is offering $50,000 to a couple who can prove that they're Annie's parents. And the Canadian knows everything about Annie. She's the old lady at the orphanage, and she has a locket, and it's a broken locket, and that's the only thing that her parents left for her.
So does the mean old Mrs. Hannigan hold the key to finding Annie's real parents? Well, you'll have to go see the play to find out.
It's a hard knock row. We hope fun like it. Get up, wolves, empty bellies. Get up, wolves, it's a hard knock ride.
An interesting story behind this play is the dog, Sandy, who was adopted from a local pound. But what's to become of Sandy after the final production?
It was at the animal shelter, and we kept it for 2 weeks, but it just didn't work out with my little bitty dog, because my little bitty dog is scared of everything. They're going to have a contest, and they're going to make a big deal about it in our paper. They took my picture with Sandy for the newspaper, and we think that there's going to be so many people who want to adopt her. We're going to have a raffle contest.
My final question to Katie is, what does she enjoy most about playing the role of Annie? And if she could give us a sneak preview of what we can look forward to opening night.
I think my favorite is I Don't Need Anything But You. And me and Daddy Warbucks, we sing that together. And it's really a lot of fun because all the movements are fun, and that's probably my favorite. My main goal in life is to be on Broadway. Better if there's more audience, because I do better because I love being on stage. And if they could come, that'd be wonderful because I do a lot better, and I know everybody else in the play does a lot better when there's more audience. The sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on to tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow, you're always a day away.
A little girl with a big voice and big talent. Kristin Gordon, end of voiceover. Thank you for listening.